OnePlus Open 2. We have not been speaking a lot about this because it's been delayed. It was supposed to potentially come out in 2024, and then we heard earlier on this year that it would not be coming out. And now they've been pushed this back to 2025. And I wanted to go through some expectations of specs that we will see with the OnePlus Open 2 and just go from there. So first of all, I think the design is going to carry a lot over with this phone over to the newer one. I think you'll see probably like a similar camera style in the back. I also think the way this phone looks will be very similar as well in terms of the bezel size and the way the front display looks. But I don't think that overall that the size of everything will ultimately be the same. So I wanted to, just throw that out there. But yeah, I'm thinking about 8-inch screen on the main display will happen on there, as well as a 6.5-inch outer display. I say that because I think it's going to be very similar to the Pixel 9 Pro Fold. I don't think OnePlus Open's going to rest on their laurels with the second generation in terms of size of the display and be smaller than they were before, and also not be just a little bit bigger. Now, this is a little bit bigger. I don't think they're going to be like 8.5 inches. I don't think they're going that big. I think the sweet spot right now for this generation is 8 inches on the inside and 6.5 on the outside. I also think they're going to a little bit go up on the brightness up to 3000 nits and then 1600 nits normal. So you'll see a little bit of an increase on the brightness of the displays, which is great. I also think the weight is going to be very similar. I wouldn't be surprised if it sticks at the 239 grams, but I think it's actually going to drop down to 235 grams, and I think they're able to do that because they're using it'll be slimmer. It's going to be slimmer and weigh a little bit less on the phone. I think the size of it, like I said, will be similar to a Pixel 9 Pro Fold. I think it's going to be eerily similar to that phone, which we have right here. I have it in a case, but I think you'll see like a skinnier hinge. I think the displays will be very similarly sized. I think it's just going to look very, very similar and be really thin but lighter than this phone. The processor inside is going to blow us away. Snapdragon 8 Gen 4. It's what we'll get with all of the other folding phones come later in 2025. But the OnePlus Open 2, I think, will be the first major folding phone in the Western world to get a Snapdragon 8 Gen 4. 16 gigs of RAM. I don't think they're going to improve upon that. I think they'll stick with 16 gigs of RAM. I don't think we'll see 20 or 24 on these phones until another year or two. Storage, I think we will see this time 512 and 1 terabyte. They released a 1 terabyte version of the OnePlus Open later than expected. And now I think they'll just launch with 512 and 1 terabyte for the OnePlus Open 2. I think the cameras will be the same as the OnePlus Open 2, just enhanced. I don't think we're going to see it might even be different models, but I think the megapixels are basically going to stay the same. And I think it'll take better photos and videos and have better stabilization and quality of videos and photos. But I don't think ultimately it's going to be that much different in terms of like the spec of the camera itself. Battery, I think, is going to see a pretty big jump. Since it's bigger, wider, I think they're going to put in a 5400 milliamp battery, which is the rumored battery size they'll have in the OnePlus 13. So I think they'll end up doing that in the OnePlus Open 2. I've also heard they could potentially go up to 6000 milliamps on the OnePlus Open 2. I don't think they'll go that high, but I would be happily incorrect if that happens, but I think it'll stick at 5400. Charging, 67 watt wired, but then I think they're finally going to add wireless charging in here to the Open and give us 50 watt wireless, which would match what they give on their traditional phones. And that will be a big, big plus to be able to charge that fast on these phones. It'll launch with Android 15, which should come as no surprise because they're already on Android 14, and by the time this phone launches, Android 15 will have been out for a while at that point, so there's no reason they shouldn't be on Android 15. Like I said, the hinge should be refined for smoother folding and less visible crease on the main display. I think they're really going to improve on that. It's already pretty good, but I think they'll improve on it even more. Durability, Gorilla Glass armor for increased protection. Some kind of Gorilla Glass will be on there. Water resistance, I think it'll be IPX8. I don't think they'll have dust resistance on here. I can't think of a Western folding phone that actually has any dust resistance at the moment. No pen support. I still don't think we'll see any real pen support for the OnePlus Open phones, even on the second gen. AI features galore since this is going to Android 15, and I've personally heard that the OnePlus Open will be getting AI features later this year with an update. I think we'll see that on the OnePlus Open 2. It'll launch with AI features that the OnePlus Open has and ones that it doesn't have as well, to compete with the rest of Samsung and Google with that stuff. Release, I'm thinking first quarter 2025, maybe as early as March 2025, somewhere in that range, somewhere between January and April. But I'm guessing March is when it will come out. And then I think the price will be $17.99 and probably like $18.99 or $19.99 for the higher 1 terabyte version of the phone. So I think it's going to compete heavily spec-wise with and beat really the Galaxy Z Fold 6. And then size-wise and RAM-wise, it's going to compete with the Pixel 9 Pro Fold. I still think it's going to be that sweet spot between those two phones, giving you the really smooth operating system and amazing performance for gaming and things like that you can get on the Pixel and with the Galaxy Z Fold 6, and then with extra features that those phones don't have, such as really fast wireless charging and really fast wired charging, and it's an unbeatable combo. So we'll see when this comes out. What do you guys think is going to happen with the OnePlus Open 2? What would you like to see happen? Let us know in the comments down below. Have a great day, and we'll see you down the road. Peace.